to do it now, what is going to happen? Then I look at the results. Do I like the results? No, I don't. So why do I do it? Let me rather stick to the opposite because I like the opposite results. Should I have a little bit of a patience? And then I try it. As much as it's so difficult, I try it. And you try once, twice, for the third time, definitely the mind is easily trained because the mind just needs consistency. And then I do it. So that is what is helping me to take, to have a patience and to exercise what I want to do, even though it's very difficult.
Wow. Okay, and so I'm sure, madam, you got benefit from that.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know,
Thank you for that.
you know, another addition to it, and I will start right about now, is that, see, sometimes it's also because we are not clear as to our destination. And it's still also about what truly do you think your purpose is? Do you understand? So let me ask you a question. Can you tell me a bit about yourself? You know, since we're just two here, let's just exercise this. Can you tell me a bit about yourself, Madam Oluka?
Okay. Like in one word, if in one word, if I'm going to describe myself or my purpose, it's service. It's
No, but wait, let me ask. No, I'm not going into the very complex. I just want you to tell me, are you a family woman?
Okay. Yes. I'm a homely person. Though I don't have a family now.
Okay.
I don't have a family. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe let me give you an example. It's just like if there's a someone, and I don't want to use this example. Okay, if someone has to do an operation, all right, and they tell the person that it's a life and death issue, and that what you need to do beyond just paying for the operation for it to be successful, to have life, you also need to stay off coke. Tell me, will you be able to stay off coke? Hello? Okay, did we lose her? Okay, I think we...
No, Shema, I think we lost her.
Yeah, okay. Okay. You know, it's the motivation that we tie to, it is the final outcome or the reward or the consequences of what we tie ourselves to the goals that ultimately also gets us to get there. So it's not just about setting goals in the air. Good morning, Mr. Babatunde Raji.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. Before you came in, Madam Oluka, they asked, we were talking about goal setting and all of that, but we are getting into today's matter. But let me also ask you, how's the journey been, and what was your experience yesterday?
Yeah, the yesterday experience was very good, insightful, particularly when you and Mr. Jimmy Tewe took us in the session. Most of us, before, we only know about the goal setting. We don't measure it to the achieving the goals. But yes, but it told us even before you set the goal that you must even be aiming how you get the result.
Correct.
So at least, and with that question, though I couldn't get the answer when I was answering my question. I was log off, but later I picked some of the things that they told us that we should associate very well. And in fact, the program was very, very helpful, insightful, and educative. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for this testimony. And you can watch the replay on YouTube. You can watch the replay on YouTube. Okay, so I think we should just start right about now. Madam Oluka, I'm sure you also got a bit from what he said, but you can also catch up with the replay. And the speaker yesterday talked about getting goals, all right? Not just only setting goals. Setting goals is the first step, but we must also now strive to get goals. But once your line went off, I tied it on to even the eventual outcome, okay? And that if it was a matter of life and death, if you needed to do something, you'll have to do it. All right. And those are some of the things that matter to us most should be tied to some of the goals we want to get, just so that everything is in alignment, because else your body will revolt. All right, guys. I'm sure we all know the morning ritual. I have my glass of infused water with lime, and I'll just say cheers to early morning blessings.
Yeah.
And a wonderful
Yeah, same around too.
Cheers.
Cheers to.
Great. Okay, today is day 7. Wow, we made it to day 7. Oh, wow, amazing. Now, let me tell you something. You know, if you drop out of this course, and I don't want you to drop out at this stage because it's going to get better, you would have at least, experienced or set a path for your personal reinvention. Because the way we wired this was that this reinvention bootcamp is in 3 phases, okay? The first one is the personal reinvention. The second one is around business, career, and enterprise, which we're getting into next week. And it's going to be very, very interesting. And the third one is how to, sustain this reinvention, either for business, for life, or for love. And so it's amazing. It's amazing that today we finished the part 1 series. So if, for instance, this was a diploma, you would have just earned yourself a diploma by the end of today. All right. Amazing. And what caps today is also one of the most essential things. Today is day 7, and we captured it: rest, reflect, restart. Okay. And that's on page 45 of the book. He says, and I'm going to quote Maya Angelou. All right. She says, every person needs to take one day away, a day in which one consciously separates the past from the future. Jobs, family, employers, and friends can exist one day without any one of us. And if our egos permit us to confess, they could exist eternally in our absence. Each person deserves a day away in which no problems are confronted, no solutions searched for. Each of us needs to withdraw from the cares which will not withdraw from us. Rest is essential. Rest is essential. If I understand, truly for everybody here, we must take time to rest. We must take time to rest. Now, if you understand how this works, you'll probably also be able to function better. And my understanding of this, initially, whilst I was starting off with my career, I used to make some boast as to why are you always sleeping? I've not slept for the last 36 hours. But I soon realized the folly in that decision, because then I was just trying to be arrogant and trying to let people know that, hey, I have not slept. We go for board meetings. From there, we go for clubs. From the club, we're starting another retreat. And, it just felt like, welcome, Bilikisu. It just felt like, hey, that was the best way to walk yourself. But as I started to get up the ladder, I soon realized that I was only killing myself gradually. Okay, because you see, 2 things happen. Is it that we become docile or we become active? Now, when we become too active, we stretch ourselves, and at that point, we must get to the midpoint where we call balance. And when we don't exert ourselves, when we become docile, we also is it entropy now? We also just start to shrink. Okay, so the ultimate bit is to experience an equilibrium, to be at the middle. Okay, where there is where we have what we call the balance, and that's why rest is essential. I just got a prompter that my what did you call it? Okay, I need to quickly try this. So yes, so we must constantly rest. And why is rest essential? Rest is essential to the extent that one second, guys, before this thing goes off, I forgot to charge it. Okay, so rest is essential, and the earlier we come to terms with this fact, that rest is not just sleep. Okay, in fact, But let's start with sleep. You know, the sleep of the worker is sweet. So yesterday, before I got into that session, and you know, I've been having some marathon meetings. But there's something I'm going to advocate for that also shortly. So before yesterday's session, I just mandated myself to a power nap for 1 hour. So I started at 4:30 and I got up at 5:30, you know, and I was lazing a bit, but by 5:45, I was up, getting ready for yesterday's session, which was going to start at 7. All right, rest is essential for health. And this health, according to the World Health Organization, is a complete, you know, well-being. You know, it's the mind, the body, the soul. All right, and even rest is spiritual. Okay, and like I said, even rest is strategic. You know, study shows that we perform better at work and in life when we practice this strategic renewal. And for those that are Christians, even God rested, you know, as in after the creation story reflects that God had to rest. And you know, rest is that it's a strategic renewal. It's a point where you come to yourself to review. Okay, when you come at rest, you reflect. You know, there's a rest bit, but once you rest, as you come out from that rest, you see that your reflection also becomes better, and then you can restart or relaunch in a better way. Now, what happens when we don't rest? We become cranky. We become, our hormones are imbalanced. So we begin to react instead of responding. It affects everything around us, from our mood to our, you know, to every, you know, just anything. And you just find out that you cannot fully, you know, play your, or experience or claim an extraordinary life when you are constantly, all right, imbalanced. All right, so balance is critical. We're going to be talking about that as we progress in the program, as to the role of balance, all right, in ensuring that we claim an extraordinary life. Guys, the issue of rest is critical constantly. So with all of this that we're saying now, people ask, okay, why rest? Okay, rest restores your energy. And I love the fact that once we started on the first day, we started to talk around the issues with Ade, the fitness man, and when he spoke about energy, and for this quest, for everything we're doing, even in fulfilling our purpose, you know, in meeting our goals, in achieving, you know, excellent or extraordinary life, we must have energy. So rest restores energy. All right. Rest also repairs our body. You know, it helps with the repair of the body. Now, you notice that the older we become, the more difficult it becomes for our bodies to heal. Now, some of the things that contribute to that is because of the way we subject our body. Now, if it was a baby, you notice that if there was a cut, the baby's body, because we have been created to regenerate with regenerative cells, the baby's cut would heal so fast. Why? Because babies usually always just rest. And as the child starts to grow, we notice that the repair level starts to drop because the rest level has started to drop. Okay? Now, so why we must rest if we want to repair our body. And Billy, as I just said that, I think that you must also be very strategic with your rest. Okay? I think you must be strategic with your rest. And I'm sure you're going to express a renewal. I don't know why I said that, but it just leaped from my heart. And it says, for you to express your total release, your total repair, you must be very strategic with your rest. Okay. Now, another thing that we also must do is that because of the kind of things we want to do, rest helps us to improve our focus. All right, rest helps us to increase our focus, and because when we lack focus, okay, that means that we're distracted, and it therefore means that we're not able to achieve what we want to achieve. So you might be also wondering that why am I not getting the results I want? Have you asked yourself, am I resting well enough? You know, like today, once I finish my I have a feature on TV in the next 1.5 hours. Once I'm done, I go back to a deliberate, conscious sleep. And I'm giving everybody a mandate that they shouldn't wake me up until a particular time. All right. And that's also what I try to do. I just get into my what I call power naps. All right. It could be an hour, it could be 2. But I know that by the time I come out of that nap, I'm getting refreshed, and I'm also improving my focus. And for me, I also take deliberate conscious times to shut down. Okay. So for instance, once my phone is off, I shut down my phone. When look, there are some things we must do. And that's what Maya was talking about. She says, look, you'll be surprised. All the things that you are striving for, people might, and I'm saying it, I'm not saying this out of to disparage or to mean anybody. If tomorrow you don't see me, you might just say, oh, Taiwo, what a great guy. After some time, you go about your life. Even my wife or my children, they'll say, we missed that. And everybody still goes about their life. So don't think you're too important. All right? Don't think that the world cannot go on without you. But guess what? Ensure that you rest. And that's what I keep telling myself. Do you want to kill? Don't kill yourself. Please ensure that you rest. Rest also improves your mood. And this mood ties down to a bit of your attitude also, and is embedded. And I don't know if anybody remembers when we're talking about the iceberg effect, and that is subconsciously embedded within us are those things that if we have the wrong moods, then we begin to emit the wrong attitude. And it also this thing that we're talking about moods in the sense that moods are essential. It's essential you have a good mood starting out. Now, if you don't rest, you cannot even practice silence. You cannot even start to, create an environment that, gives you a good attitude and, a good rest. So rest is key. Rest is like, you must keep at it. Be deliberate about rest as you're deliberate about your goals, okay? Be deliberate about your rest as you're deliberate about every other thing. Then another benefit, and there are a lot of benefits, but for time, rest improves your creativity. And remember when we talked about how to think, the key and number 6 on how to think is to create. And I think that's one of the key things that we've also been given a mandate to create constantly, to create wherever you are. Because if you apply yourself, if you think, if you recall, if you analyze, if you evaluate, and you constantly also always applying, and everything that you do along those lines in thinking, you will soon realize that as you fulfill your purpose, you will see that what distinguishes you and sustains you on that journey is your ability to keep creating. Okay, so for instance, it wasn't that we just had a book. Okay, now we've created a program. We have a workbook. We are going to eventually start to train people on how to train other people to become reinventors. All right, we are going to go across Africa. We are going to help redeem. You are constantly thinking, okay, what next? So I was just gisting with my wife yesterday, and she was saying something. Said, this reinvent is becoming something. I said, yes. He said, okay, now there will be reinvent for businesses. There will be reinvent for lovers, all right, or for couples. There will be reinvent for children. It could be anything. Why? We're thinking constantly. And that's one of the things that you get when you rest. Okay? So, guys, rest is not limited to sleep. And I'm closing now. You must engage in silence also. So sometimes you just need to just calm down and just shut down in your mind, your body. And this is not the practice of silence that I'm talking about. It's that you just want to be silent. Just want to just be silent, all right? Rest also could mean that you want to meditate, okay? Rest could be that you're shutting down on devices, the light from the computer, and just shutting down. Rest could be identifying a quiet spot where you just feel that you don't want anybody to come and just stay settled in yourself. Go and look at I heard about the guy called, is it Isaac? Yeah, Isaac Newton. It was under the was it the apple tree that he discovered the law of gravity? What happened? He was resting. He was resting. And just about the time the apple tree dropped, I'm sure he was pondering on several other things. And he just said, hey, this is gravity. And now we call it gravity. And that changed the course of several things across the globe, across the world, just by resting. He was resting now, but under the apple tree. And the drop of that apple, signified something for him. And he started to, maybe align with some of the things he had been working on. And he just came to himself and said, Kai, this is it. This is it. Okay? So that's what rest ultimately does. It also, then how do you also indulge yourself? Because when you indulge yourself, it's also a form of rest. You know, your body has been subjected to so much rigor, pain, and all of that. You will know that all that we need to do is to find a place where we can, just even indulge. So occasionally, one of the things I try to do, I go for massages. Okay, beyond massages, sometimes I just go for a steam bath. When I'm having my steam, I'm not carrying my phone. I'm just brewing. I'm just enjoying the essence and the sound. The sound reinvigorates me. Sometimes I go on vacation. Sometimes I go on a retreat, a personal retreat. That's rest. You shut down. If you don't take care, and I love what you have said, Billy says it's very important to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're actually just creating, or digging your grave. All right, you must rest. You must rest, and it's constant. It's important that we rest. And then finally, I've also said, take power naps. Take power naps. Take power naps. Those are some of the ways that we want to rest. Let me read out something to you. It says that rest involves coming to terms with the fact that without balance, values break when tested. Values break when tested. Do you see what that said? That all these values I want to set up now, like I told you about my values, choices, an acronym called choices, candor, that's and UTAS, all right, humility, okay, optimism, all right, integrity, compassion, excellence, and then synergy, okay? But guess what? Those values can be easily broken if I don't rest. Because when I'm supposed to have staying power, I give in, all right? When I'm supposed to be able to stay true, I give in. So guys, we must rest. Rest is important. Rest must be strategic. In fact, I call it strategic renewal. All right, guys, I'm sure today we're advocating for rest. So it's time for us to go and just rest. Go and rest. So in the workbook, you see that you have to set out a plan for rest. Plan your rest. Like I told you, I've planned now that once I come back from my TV program, hey, my phones are off. No matter how emergency it is, even if the president was calling me, well, sorry, I have to be having a sound mind. I have to have a sound mind to be able to attend to the president, right? All right. Okay. So rest. So set out the plan for rest, and then ask yourself, when last did you rest? I'm not talking about sleep. When last did you rest? When last did you rest? And then there's a recommended movie. Also when you go on a movie date or something, you should just go and say, look, go and watch this movie, The Ultimate Gift. And I'm going to, if I can get the link, I'll share in the group, The Ultimate Gift. Guys, remember, as you rest, please be refreshed so that you can join us later tonight. We're bringing Ade-Ife Kolade. This guy is building trains and cabins and the entire railway structure in Chicago. He's working with companies even from Chicago, in Japan, and in Canada. You don't want to miss it. And that specialized link is going to start from 7. I urge you guys, share with your friends. Let all those let them even come. We're not even talking about the groupings now. Share with everybody, shareable. Put it up on your updates. I'm going to put the banners up share with all your, look, you don't know what you gain when you share. Once you share certain things, it just helps you not only because they'll appreciate you for it. Anybody that expresses a recovery will always refer to you, and you hold an indelible mark in there. And that's one thing about building relationships. All right. So, and we heard about building relationships. Don't turn your customers into what? Into friends. And you'd be surprised you don't have to give them anything anymore. These are some of the things that you can share. And once they gain from it, you can be rest assured that you have put an indelible mark. Guys, I need to get out of your face now. Even if I don't want to, I must just get out of your face. It's time for us to go and rest, and then let's just get ready just so as to be refreshed for this evening. Thank you so much. I love you all. Patience, I see you. Olukade, I see you. Billy Kister, I see you. Kewe, I see you. Babatunde Raji, I see you. Olukade, I see you. I love you all, and keep being phenomenal.
Before you go, Mr. Taiwo, what station are you going to feature on this morning?
AIT, African Independent Television.
Okay, what time? 8:30.
8 a.m. 8 a.m. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we'll tune in.